Good evening, welcome to Primetime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Bernadine Chai Singha. Let's now take a look at headlines.
Water supply in Monoragala hampered as a result of an oil leak from a power plant. Chairman of the UNP says the draft constitution of the new alliance will be amended. Minister Horan Fernando's strong statement. Will Gotabaya Rajapaksa be the presidential candidate? TLM Pereira says he would resign from the SLFP if they do not join the SLPP. Mayor of Hambantota sentenced to 5 years in prison. Earthquake near southwest Sumatra in Indonesia.
A tsunami warning has been issued after magnitude 7.0 earthquake struck off the Indonesian island of Java, swaying buildings as far away as the capital. Muad Razik is ready to share more details with us. Muad?
Thanks, Bernadine. A tsunami warning has been issued after a magnitude 7 earthquake struck off the Indonesian island of Java, swaying buildings as far away as the capital of Jakarta. Now, Indonesia's disaster agency said residents of the Banten coast should immediately evacuate to higher ground. And as the US Geological Survey also said, it was centered 150 kilometers off the island of southwest coast, and it hit a depth of 42 kilometers along the Indonesian coast. The Indonesian Geophysics Agency quickly issued a tsunami warning to the country's disaster mitigation agency, said the residents on the Banten coast of Java should immediately evacuate off the higher grounds. Now, the Sri Lankan Tsunami Early Warning Center issued a statement confirming that this particular earthquake had no impact to Sri Lanka. It said no impact to Sri Lanka. It added that there is no tsunami threat to Sri Lanka. And so we would like to remind you that there is no immediate tsunami threat to Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan Tsunami Early Center said that confirming that there is no tsunami threat to Sri Lanka. So we were outside, there is no worries. Sri Lanka, there is no threat. That is the latest update.
Thank you, Muad. In more local news, following views were expressed by the chairman of the UNP Minister Kabir Hashim in response to several questions raised by journalists.
Now, permission is granted to our leaders to form a broad alliance. Discussions are being held with regard to certain points in the constitution. Due to different stances of MPs and ministers, we decided to amend it. We are to appoint a committee, and within the coming 2 days, the constitution, including the said amendments, will be given to our leader, and with forming the alliance for the presidential election, we are to name the winning candidate soon. There's no such opposing faction. Many in our party are trying to become the next candidate. They are competing to become the candidate. We are still open about this. There's nothing wrong in this. Who is the country asking for? Inside a party, if the leader is trying to put forward his family members, it's wrong. We don't have that in our party. Even we would like to put someone forward that we prefer. We should present the candidate that the people request for. That is our principle.
Minister Horan Fernando expressed these views at a press conference held in Colombo today.
I was told that someone from our government asked to remove me from my ministerial portfolio, saying that I am supporting Sajid. This is the reason I told them to remove me from this ministerial portfolio if they can. All these positions are temporary, but I have to say that the people who said this are the ones who tried to get involved in Sri Lankan cricket. The person who asked to remove me has an issue with Sajid. The other two have the issue of supporting another candidate. This is a huge joke. We have to stand together as a party and must produce a candidate who can win. If they think that producing the leader who can win is a wrong decision, and if they are trying to scare us, I would like to say that I am not afraid. I am not considering whether Sajid is good or bad, and I am going to suggest him if citizens of the country prefers him. And as I am representing Badulla, and if the Badulla MPs are supporting Sajid, I cannot take a solo decision. I have straight opinions. If they will remove me this time as well, this is not an issue, as I came out of Parliament and made a change earlier in a time that Ranil Wickremesinghe was begging for a vote. I am taking the right decision. In case if he will not be the candidate, I will lose confidence in politics. I do not think that there is possibility for the UNP to win, and personally, I will decide to leave politics for 5 years to take care of myself and will return in 5 years.
මමගේ පෞද්ගලික තියෙනවා නම් මම දේශපාලන ගන්න කැමති නැහැ. අවුරුදු 5ක් ගෙදර ගිහිල්ලා නිවාඩුවක් කරගෙන පොඩ්ඩක් දුවල කරලා ළඟා දාගෙන පස්සේ එනවා.
Even though Minister Ravi Khanna said the draft constitution of the new alliance was passed by the working committee yesterday, Minister Rajitha P Pereira stressed that such a decision was not made. Minister Rajitha P Pereira said party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe agreed not to approve the draft constitution of the proposed Democratic National Front in the face of strong objection raised at the UNP Working Committee meeting yesterday. Minister Pereira said Wickremesinghe agreed to seek Working Committee approval by presenting an amended final version of the draft constitution before setting up an alliance.
At yesterday's UNP Working Committee, of its 60-strong members, only 12 were in favour of the draft constitution. More than 4/5 opposed the move, and their position was that many points of the draft constitution had to be changed. Therefore, last night, Minister Rajitha P Pereira had submitted his amendments to the draft constitution to Ranil Wickremesinghe and stressed the General Secretary of the Democratic National Front should definitely be from the United National Party. His amendments also include that the registered office of New Alliance should be Sirikota and the decision-making power in the executive committee should be vested with the United National Party. The minister also proposed that the United National Party should be entitled to 50% plus one representative in the Leadership Council. Further explaining the process, Minister Rajitha P Pereira has said that if 10 members are elected to the council, 6 of them should be from the United National Party. In his amendment sent to the party leader, Ranil Wickremesinghe, it is mentioned the presidential candidate must be appointed at a joint meeting of the United National Parliamentary Group and the Working Committee. Minister Rajitha P Pereira has requested the party leader not to sign the draft constitution for the formation of a new alliance until the amended constitution is presented and approved by the United National Party Working Committee. Moreover, Minister Sujiva Senasinghe too had submitted his version of the amendments regarding the draft constitution of the Democratic National Front, adding the numerical majority of the Leadership Council should be held with the United National Party. Minister Senasinghe has also stated a member of the United National Party nominated by the party should be appointed as the leader of the alliance and Sirikota should be the headquarter of the new alliance. He also proposed that the parties which have 2 or more seats in the parliament should be given the opportunity to appoint a member to the Leadership Council.
In the meantime, Minister Ravi Khanna convened a media briefing today.
A draft constitution of the new alliance was presented, views were expressed and steps were taken to make certain amendments to the proposals. Around 6 to 8 were against it.
විරුද්ධ වුණා ඒකට 6-7-8 දෙනෙක්.
ඒක මේ නව ව්‍යවස්ථාව සම්මතුනාද ඊයේ?
නෑ ඒක සම්මත වෙලා තියෙන නිසා මේ කතා කරන්නේ.
මේ නව පස්වෙනිදා මේ නව සම්දානය එතුමාලා එලි දක්වනවාද?
පස්වෙනිදා අපි එලි දක්වනවා. ඒකනේ තියෙන්නේ.
කොහෙද කරන්නේ?
සුගතදාස ස්ටේඩියම් එකේ.
එහිදී අපිට ව්‍යවස්ථාව අපි ලැබිලා තිබුණේ නැහැ.
We were not given the constitution by then. There was one structure in December 2018 and another in January. We don't know how many structures were there later. Even that morning changes were made. We were asked to pass the constitution, but we can't pass it like that. We should thoroughly read it in order to pass it. We only had a matter of minutes to go through the document. The end result was to go for an election. We asked not to divide this and not to go for an election. If it is the end of the world on the 6th, there won't be an issue if we sign it on the 5th. We can discuss this matter. Why the hurry? Even the MPs from the minority parties said they are not in a hurry to sign this. Sign it on the 5th meant there was an attempt to obstruct Sajith Premadasa being democratically proposed by the UNP. And some will say this is already signed by the alliance and the alliance should take the decision. We don't want such issues. Then Ranil Wickremesinghe asked who is willing to sign on the 5th. Then 10 MPs and altogether around 20, including some appointed to the working committee by the party leaders, raised their hands.
නවීන් දිසානායක මැතිතුමා, රවි කරුණානායක මැතිතුමා, කිරියල්ල මැතිතුමා, අකිල විරාජ් කාර්යවසම් මැතිතුමා, ජෝන් අමරතුංග මැතිතුමා, තිලක් මාරපඩ මැතිතුමා, වජිර ඇමතිතුමා, කාවින්ද මන්ත්‍රීතුමා, ස්වාමිනාදන් මන්ත්‍රීතුමා ඒ පිරිස සහ කෘත්‍යාධිකාරී මණ්ඩලයේ නායකතුමා විසින් පත් කර පිරිසක් 20ක් විතර පිරිසක් ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අතීසුවා. 30කට ආසන්න ප්‍රමාණයක් ඒකට විරුද්ධව.
Around 30 opposed it. A large number of MPs and said that the constitution should be amended.
මංගල සමරේ මැතිතුමා, මලික් සමරේක්‍රම මැතිතුමා, කබීර් හෂීම් මැතිතුමා, රංජිත් මද්දුම් බණ්ඩාර මැතිතුමා, ඒ වගේම තලත අතුකෝල මැතිතුමිය, චන්ද්‍රානි බණ්ඩාර මැතිතුමිය, මම අජිත් පෙරේරා මැතිතුමා, ඉරාන් මැතිතුමා, හර්ෂ මැතිතුමා, රුවන් විජේවර්ධන මැතිතුමා ඇතුළු මන්ත්‍රීවරු විශාල පිරිසක්.
Many of them expressed their views and strategies on how to put in track the UNP to victorious path.
ඔබතුමාලා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ඔය දැන් සංශෝධන ටික කරේ නැති වුණොත් එහෙම
90%කට
It is not only us. 90% including the minority party are of the view that it should be amended. If not, we will have to choose the candidate through an election.
අරමුණේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට අපේක්ෂකයා තෝරන්න සිදු වෙනවා ඡන්දකින්.
Against the backdrop where the working committee has rejected the draft constitution of the new alliance, several party representatives who state that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe will be joining the new alliance were summoned to temper trees.
Ministers Mano Ganeshan, P. Digambaram, Patli Champika Ranawaka and Dr. Rajitha Senaratna, representing the parties due to join the alliance, participated in this meeting. The meeting that began at 9 last night ended at 11:30. After the meeting, the group left the premises at temple trees. In this manner, no comment was made to the media. Chairman of the United National Party, Minister Kabir Hashim, General Secretary Minister Akila Viraj Karyavasam and Minister Malik Samaravikrama represented the UNP at this meeting.
What is your stance about the draft constitution that was presented to this new alliance?
Our party's high command is due to convene on the 3rd. A decision will be taken about this then. A decision regarding the presidential election will also be taken at this meeting.
If Minister Sajith Premadasa is brought as the candidate, would you support him?
First, the UNP has to present their candidate. Then we would decide if we will support him or not.
Addressing a media briefing in Kandy today, Governor of the Central Province, President's Council Maitri Gunaratna expressed the following views regarding the UNP's Leadership Council.
Previously too, when a similar issue arose in the UNP, Ranil Wickremesinghe appointed a leadership council headed by Karu Jayasuriya and deceived the general public as well as the party faithful by saying he vested all powers to the leadership council. He never handed over power, so this time around Ranil Wickremesinghe is playing the same old trick by forming a new alliance and appointing a leadership council. His only motive is to stay as the leader and become the presidential candidate in 2020 under the Common Alliance. If he is unable to achieve that, he will opt for an outsider but will never give that opportunity to a UNPer.
The National People's Council convened a media briefing today.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්තයා හරිය නිකන් සක්කරයාගේ පුතා වයිම වගේ කපාටම විශ්වකර්මයා වගේ කියනවා.
All of a sudden, Ranil Wickremesinghe says he will build 300 bowers in the coming 4 months. That means he's left with 100 days. I think even the great King Parakram Bahu was unable to achieve such a feat. Has he woken up from sleep? Sir, this is a country with a civilization that has had a great irrigation system. Stop cracking jokes. There is a proper procedure for everything. Earlier he said he will provide chains, then tabs, and now in Anuradhapura he says he'll give waivers. So a person who has no democracy in his own party talks of performing miracles.
මේ වගේ විශ්වකර්ම වැඩක් කරන්න.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe attended an event held in Anuradhapura.
The project to develop 300 tanks in the Anuradhapura district commenced today. The project is being implemented with the assistance of the World Bank with a cost of 3 billion rupees. Parallel to the inauguration, refurbishing the Mada Oya Vaver also commenced. Projects at 700 tanks commenced this year, and by the end of August, refurbishing the Pahala Malwatu Oya area will commence. Due to the drought and lack of fertilizer, economy of villages suffer a downfall. We have arranged many programs once again to provide funds to villages. Only few governments in this world can face challenges. We build such a government. Mayor of Hambantota, Ravi Fernando, and one other person was each sentenced to 6 years in prison. They were found guilty of holding a pistol and intimidating a group of MPs who inspected the Hambantota port in 2014.
Mayor of Hambantota, Horan Fernando, and another accused in the case, Premsiri Paramana, were found guilty, and the other three suspects of the case, Tuan Ramsan, Madhush Nilan, and Bindusri Vanasinghe, were acquitted of all charges. President's Counsel UR De Silva represented the defendant, and a team led by Additional Solicitor General Dilip Piris represented the Attorney General. A group of UNP MPs including Rajitha P Pereira, Ajit Mana Peruma, Iran Wickramaratne, R. Yogarajan and Nalin Bandarajaya Maha toured the Matala airport and the Hambantota port on the 18th of April 2014. The mayor had used a pistol to intimidate the MPs while they were inspecting the Hambantota port.
A group of traditional dancers and shaman attached to the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana arrived at the Battaramulla party office today.
The group arrived at the party office in this manner. The group then bestowed blessings on Basil Rajapaksa and others. Journalists then questioned Basil Rajapaksa regarding the current political situation in the country. This is a small alliance compared to 2015. They do not have enough parties, so they have even taken in individuals as members of this alliance.
ඉදිරි ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයා කවුද?
ඒක තමයි ජනවාරි 11 කිව්වේ. ඒක ඉතරක් අහන්න එපා කිව්වා.
ඉදිරි ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයා ඔබතුමා නොවන බව ඔබතුමා දැනුවත්.
ඔව් මන් නෙවෙයි. ඒක මං හිතුවා ඔය කට්ටියක් දන්නවා කියලා.
රාවයක් ගියා ඔබතුමාත් මේ පුරවැසිභාවය ඉවත් කරගත්තා කියලා ඇමරිකාවේ.
අයින් කරගත්ත කට්ටිය අයින් කරේ නැති කියනවා. අයින් නොකරගත්ත කට්ටිය අයින් කරගෙන කියන. ඉතින් කොයි එක ඔබතුමාලට ඔක්කල් මොකක් හරි කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්ද නැහැ.
ඔබතුමා නොවෙනවා නම් ඔබවයි සඳහන් වෙනවා ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහතාගේ නාමයෙන්. ඔබතුමාගේ නම යෝජනාව පූර්ණ කාර්ය සහාය ලබා දෙනවද?
ඒක අහන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඉතින් එයා නෙවෙයි එතුමා આવොත් මම වැඩි සතුටුයි. හැබැයි ඒකයි මහින්ද ජනාධිපතිතුමා කිව්වොත් ඉතින් ඕනෙද අපේ පක්ෂයේ සූදානම්.
ගිවිසුම් සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඔබතුමාලගේ ආණ්ඩුවක් පත් වුණත් මොන වගේ ක්‍රියාමාර්ග
අපේ අදහස නම්
Our stance is that these agreements should not be reached. I make a request from the government to let the people decide. There is only 100 days more. Our party is not ready to live in isolation.
Now we can see Basil Rajapaksa doing all sorts of things at the SLPP offices. But we can see that these are all justified. All of these people are scared at night. They do all these things when they are scared. He must be seen Lasantha Wickramatunge in his dreams. He must be seen Tajuddin in his dreams. He must be seen the innocent people in Ratupaswala, the inmates of the Valikada prison. It is when they get scared of the things they did that they go behind these rituals. That is why they follow these myths. The Rajapaksas are scared because this is a time where the things they did are following them.
තමන් කරපු දේවල් තමන් පිටුපස පන්නමින් තිබෙන මොහොතක් මේක.
MP TLM Pereira today said that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party should unite with the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana.
If the Sri Lanka Freedom Party does not move in the path that we envisioned for it, we will have to unwillingly go to where the people want us to go. We who protected the party with tears and loved the party will have to move away from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and emerge as a new flower from the pot to a party. and we will have to take this country where the people want it to go. We must not prepare butter cake for a presidential election. We need a cake with icing on top. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party only has the icing, but the cake is with the port tour. So if we don't put the icing on the cake, then we will not have the cake or the icing. It was the result of a struggle carried out by a few of us over a long time that President Maithripala Sirisena appointed Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Prime Minister. Today, Mahinda Rajapaksa is holding the position of opposition leader as a result of that struggle. But the people who are appointed to high positions in our party contract some sort of disease as soon as they are appointed. So today, there is a massive conspiracy to make the Sri Lanka Freedom Party the tail of the United National Party. There is a conspiracy within our party to use the money that was taken out through the central bank bond scam to try and get some people to cross over to the United National Party.
නැවත පාලම හරහා එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයට තල්ලු කරන්න උත්සාහ කරන කුමන්ත්‍රණයක් අපේ පක්ෂය දියත් වෙනවා.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
The allegations against Safi Shahab gave rise to much controversy in the past. Now it is being reported that there are attempts to clear him of these allegations through the media in the coming days. A popular online media organization that brought Dr. Safi Shahab and asked him a set of pre-planned questions and paint him as an innocent person through the media and the country. This is being done for a price of 60 million rupees.
මුදලකට සූදානම් වෙලා සිටිනවා කියලා වාර්තා වෙලා තිබෙනවා. රජයේ මාධ්‍යයද නැත්නම් පෞද්ගලික මාධ්‍යයද? වාර්තා වෙන විදිහට පෞද්ගලික මාධ්‍යයක් හරහා තමයි එළි දැක්වීම කරන්න හදන්නේ.
Water supply to Munragala and surrounding areas have been disrupted due to the water in the Kumbukanoya being contaminated. The waste has been contaminated by a steam power plant located in the area.
Our correspondent said that oil, grease and other substances are being released to the Kumbukanoya by the steam power plant.
වතුර මේක තමයි බිව්වෙත් වතුර අපිට ටෙප්ලයින් දෙන්න සලා මේ වගේ වතුර තිබුණා මේ දැන් අර LBC අම්බරනවානේ ඊට පස්සේ තමයි වතුර මේ වගේ තියෙන්නේ මේ තියෙන අපදාවුවේ තාම මේ විදිහටම තියෙනවා මෙන්න මේ තියෙන බලාගාරේ දාපින්න තමයි මේ දේ අපිට සිද්ධ වුනේ.
Due to this contamination, the water board has taken measures to disrupt the supply of water, which hamper the daily activities of the public and institutions in the area. Although the water board has taken measures to supply water to the people in the area, this evening they have been informed that it is not suitable for drinking. The water supply has been disrupted since the 30th of last month, and as announced by the National Water Supply and Drainage Board, water supply will be disrupted until tomorrow. Even though many industrial waste is disposed of in this manner in the world, stringent measures are taken against such acts in developing countries. On the 20th of April 2010, an oil well owned by a British oil company in the Gulf of Mexico leaked and caused severe damage to the sea and surrounding ecosystem for about 4 months. A case was heard in a US district court which ultimately ruled that the British oil company was primarily responsible for this negligent environmental crime. A fine of $18.7 billion was imposed on the British oil company. Here in Sri Lanka, why are proper environmental laws not being enacted against those responsible for these crimes against Mother Nature?
The 230th and the 231st villages constructed under the Sumatra 7 Yalipipidenuda Gammana program were vested with the public today. The event was held under the auspices of Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa.
The villages which were constructed in Uhana Veeragoda in the Ampara district were named Sadathisigama and Saruketagama. Each village consists of 35 houses and were constructed at a cost of 33.4 million rupees. In line with the opening ceremony, the minister presented land deeds to the owners of the houses. Development lands worth 9.8 million rupees were also presented, and low-income families in the area were also awarded Visiri housing loan schemes. The small and medium-scale factories have been on the downfall since a long time. Because of the economic dependency, the majority of the profits are enjoyed by foreign investors. I would like to remind you, when you get the opportunity to make a decision in November, Sajith Premadasa will leave away the policy of nourishing the rich people in the country and create a time when the general public of the country reigns supreme. The time has come now to think about 95% of the people in the country. We put a stop to the times when this 5% of the country got preferential treatment. During the months of November and December, we will definitely bring back the times when the common man is treated properly.
The Gamada teams toured the Kegol, Putlam and Ampara districts today in search of the hardships of the people that have gone unnoticed by responsible officials. The people who are stranded in their pursuit of happiness spoke to us, and this is what they had to say.
One
of our Gamada teams touring the country spoke with the residents of the Ampara district today. The main issue faced by the residents of the Baharalla village is the lack of proper transportation facilities and a road network to enter their villages. Today, our Gamada teams visited the Kitulgala, Baharalla, Daraniyagala, Yatiyantota, Ambalampitiya, Tanila Junction, Udugampola and Kalugama villages. Another Gamada team met with the residents of Putlam. The wild elephant conflict is the main issue that affects the residents of Likolavava, Kapupadiava, Mahakumbuk Kadavala and Kaladi villages. Not only do wild elephants encroach on these villages, but they also destroy all of their crops, adding to the mountain of issues that these people already face daily. The most recent of these wild elephant attacks was reported yesterday. The attack claimed the life of one person. We met these people who suffer without clean drinking water in the Selvapuram village in Ampara. The suffering of the residents in Kalugolla, Murunganiya, Abesinghapura, Lahugala and Pothuwil are also the same.
Gunmen stalled the Al Mahad army base in southern Iban province today and remained inside for several hours before military reinforcement came.
With that, we wrap up Primetime News. I'm Bernadine Chaya Singha. Take care. Good night.